Hey, what is up, YouTube? Kolst here. So we are continuing the Murder at Castle Nathria review for each individual class. Now we are moving on to Paladin. Like, subscribe, comment, all these things. Okay, we have Twitch chat here, by the way, as well. So Service Bell is the first card in Paladin. This is a 3-mana rare Discover card. Discover a class card from your deck and draw all copies of it. So the thing that's funny about this is that this could potentially, you're supposed to try to theoretically, there's potential in Constructed that there's weird things you could do with this, but in Arena, this card is usually, a lot of the times, this is going to be 3-mana draw 1, which is terrible, right? You can at least try to pull out a higher value card to make it slightly worth it, but like this is not worth drafting usually. Theoretically though, I mean, the thing that is true in Arena is that you could have like 5 of one card, right? And then this becomes suddenly very, very good. But that doesn't happen very often anymore because the card pool's a little too big to really be able to do that. So you're not necessarily even going to want, even if you know you have 2 of something, it might not be better than just getting the one thing that's better, right? So this is not a very good card usually, but it could have its moments theoretically, but usually it's just not worth drafting. Next one we have here is Divine Toll, 7-mana holy spell. Shoot 5 raise at random minions. They give friendly minions +2/+2 and deal 2 damage to enemy minions. So this just does a lot for 7 mana. You could theoretically, if you can keep your opponent's board empty, you get 10/10, potentially with charge, although your opponent's not doing anything if you're just getting to use this probably. Yeah, like you can use it as a really good Avenging Wrath. You could also use it potentially as just a hand buffer. You could use it as a mix of both. That just kind of does a lot of things. Probably would give you the ability to just finish things off. It's hard to imagine. It does enough that like things, unless you get like really screwed on the RNG, it's gonna do pretty well, right? Like it's always gonna do just a lot, and it does more than probably a card should for that cost. So it's very, very good overall. It's not like super premium, but it just does a lot. It's never going to be bad, basically, right? You can always use it very well. Moving on to the Countess. This is a 7-mana 7/7 Battle Cry. If your deck has no neutral cards, add 3 legendary invitations to your hand. Legendary invitations are these, which are 3-mana discover a legendary made from another class. It costs 0. So most of the time this is a War Golem, which is terrible. But you could hold this if the game really drags out. You could theoretically just wait until you've drawn all your neutral cards, which will probably take you the entire game, but you could theoretically do that, right? It's like one of those things. It's like old Kazakhstan. You could also just wait until you drew all of your dragons, or you drew all your non-dragons, right? But you know, you can't actually do pure Paladin in Arena, so it's one of those things that will almost never go off, and you're probably just never going to want to draft because you get forced to draft neutrals always. So that would be how it is. Next one we have here is Muckborn Servant, 3-mana 2/4 taunt, Battle Cry, discover a Paladin card. So even if you have this in another class, it still discover the Paladin card, which is interesting. But yeah, 3-mana 2/4 taunt is not a good card, but like not even unpickable, and then just a discover on top of it, very, very good. There you can get like a Templar Captain or a Leviathan or whatever, or you can get forced to pick 3 different secrets. So it's a bit high variance there, but generally speaking, class cards are very good. So it'll depend on like what you have, but yeah, like this is generally just a very, 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 very good card. Probably gonna pick it almost every time. Next one we have here is Promotion. This is a 1-mana epic spell. Give a Silverhand Recruit +3/+3. There are some Silverhand Recruit synergies here in this set. This one though, I mean, heck, it's never terrible, right? Because you can always just play this on turn 3, and it's a 3-mana 4/4. So it's actually very good, right? And potentially, if you get a dude to stick at some other point, you're probably always going to use, pretty much always going to use this preemptively anyway, just because to get it to stick. But if you ever just happen to have a dude on board, you draw this, you get a 1-mana 3/3 buff, right? Also very good. So overall, just a card that's never bad. Always going to be not the highest impact card, but you know, very good. So you'll pick it a lot actually, but it's an epic. You won't see it too much. Next one you have here is Great Hall. This is the location card for Paladin. 2 mana, rare, 3 durability, location. Going to be very frustrating card to play against because it's set a minion's attack and health to 3. So there was a 2 mana card called Dark Conviction that did this once. This is a Dark Conviction that you could play preemptively. You could just play it on turn 2 and hold on to it, but you could also use it when you play it. So you just get a Dark Conviction, and then you also just get 2 more future Dark Convictions. So yeah, this is just absurdly strong. Unless it gets removed. There is an epic neutral that can remove locations, but yeah, just your opponent can no longer play big minions. So we're saying that the locations you can only use every other turn. So once you use it, your opponent does get a turn that they get to play their big minion. But then your Paladin, you might have another way to deal with the big minion. They're going to play it then, and then you can bait them into playing right into your other removal, right? So potentially oppressively strong card in Paladin. And if you wanted to, you can also buff your own dudes with it, but you know, you're probably going to want to use that mostly just to prevent your opponent from being able to play anything. Next one we have here is another dude synergy card called Buffet Big Gun. I believe we reviewed this card previously, but 4 mana 2/4 Battlecry, summon 2 Silverhand Recruits. That's already a Grim Necromancer. That's already a pretty good arena card. But infuse 3, give them +2 attack and Divine Shield, which is, you know, 4 mana for a 2/4 and 2 Scarlet Crusaders basically. And you have potential other Silverhand Recruit synergy. You could have like the +1 mana +3/+3. It's just a very good card. Infuse 3 is not very hard. You can potentially even do it on curve. If you hit this on curve, you will basically automatically win. But yeah, just even if you have to wait a turn, still very good. So, and not unplayable, even uninfused. But you're gonna want to infuse this if you at all have the ability to. Just overall very good. Another very good card here is the legendary here, which is Stewart the Steward. 3 mana 3/3 Death Rattle. Give the next Silverhand Recruit you summon +3/+3 and this Death Rattle. So rather weak to silence, but overall, I mean, this is a super powerful, just infinite value win condition because basically turns your hero power into a 4/4. So this does, they do have to die, and then the next Silverhand Recruit you put it on has to die again. So it's a little bit slow because your opponent, maybe they won't necessarily always die. So then it's not like every hero power is always going to be a 4/4, right? But it's basically just a lot of infinite value. So one of those things that if the game drags out, it's going to make you just guaranteed to win the long game, basically. So I think it's very good. But it's like, again, it's just like it's a slow card though, so you still wouldn't pick it over like some super premium legendary, but it's just very good overall. And let's see, we have 2 more left, I think. This one is Sinful Sous Chef, which is 1 mana 2/1 Death Rattle, add 2 Silverhand Recruits to your hand. So 1 mana 2/1, not too bad, not amazing, but not too bad. And then you get add 2 Silverhand Recruits to your hand. There was a 2 mana 1/1 previously. It was a 2 mana 1/1 Death Rattle, add 3 Silverhand Recruits to your hand. This is just way more efficient, right? So it's very good. It's like wasn't this literally, it's literally Acorn Bearer, right? So Acorn Bearer was 3 years ago, it was like one of the best, it was like the best 1-drop ever. Now it's like, it's not insane, but yeah, there's a lot of dude synergies, so it's very good. It's a good 1-drop for sure. And then the last one we have here, I believe this is the last one, yep, is Elitist Snob. This is Unity Precision Perfection version 2.0 basically. So 5 mana 3/4 Battlecry. For each Paladin card in your hand, randomly gain Divine Shield, Lifesteal, Rush, or Taunt. So if you do have 4 Paladin cards in your hand, which is not inconceivable even in Arena, then you just get all of them guaranteed. There will be a lot of times though, especially, you probably don't want to pick this in like a super aggro deck because you're going to expect to miss either Rush or Divine Shield a lot of times, and this card gets significantly worse, right? But in a slower deck, this is a better Ziliax most of the time. Although Ziliax you could use with, you know, other mechs potentially, which could make it better, but overall, like, it's, yeah, in a slower deck, you're going to have probably a few Paladin cards in your hand, and you'll probably be able to do this pretty well, but, you know, again, it's like one of those things you're not always going to want to take, but in the right deck, it's pretty good. And then that is it for the Paladin cards. So move on to Priest next. Thanks a lot for hanging out, everyone on YouTube and in Twitch chat as well. We'll see you guys in the next one.